Hi, Paul Higgins here. What we're going to look at in this tutorial is a utility called the Create Cache utility. And the purpose of it is breaking up a large cache into a more manageable one. Your cache has got very large and you want to reduce the size of it. So you can use this utility to do that. The other thing it can do is convert to an SQLite cache. In other words, your cache is in the old format and you want to convert it to SQLite 3. But I don't recommend you use this utility. There's a much more efficient one called Convert Cache to SQLite 3 utility, version 2. Use it instead. You can use this utility. It can be done by map and or by polygons. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a few minutes. There's one restriction for polygons. The polygon cannot span the 180th meridian. So I'm going to show you how to start the utility, the fields in the utility, SAS Planet's current cache setup. Then we're going to create a new cache using polygons. And then we're going to update SAS Planet's cache. And then we're going to recycle SAS Planet. Okay, how do we start the utility? One way of doing it is to go to Satuchart and go to this here second panel. If it's not open, open it with this long button. And in the utilities, there's a drop down here. You will see the Create New Cache utility. Just click it and up it will come. And this is what the fields look like, and I will go over that in a minute. Let's go back here. There it is there. It has a message box up here. It tells you how to do a bunch of things. It has this a directory here for the source cache, the one we're going to convert from, and this is the output directory, the one we're going to create. You can select the zoom levels. This is the maximum number of threads internally that the work will be done with. And as I said before, the only thing we really want to support now is creating an SQLite cache. If you're going to convert the SAS Planet cache, use that other utility. And once you select them, all the map names will appear in here. You can select the polygons that you want to use to reduce the size of your cache. And you probably never want to use this because it has no purpose now. If you're doing a create cache, an entire cache, you're just creating a new one of these. And this says if this is checked, remove the source cache tiles. Don't recommend you do that. And overwrite the existing cache. There's a help file here. If you click that, you'll find the Create New Cache utility here. And it tells you what to do in the help. Okay, let's look at how SAS Planet cache is set up right now. This is SAS Planet. If you go to the settings and we click the options, it brings up the options, and one of the options is the actual cache. And if you look down here, the current cache is the external cache I have on my E drive. So what we're going to do is change that later on by creating a new cache. And also notice here that the cache type is SQLite, and we're not going to change that. Okay, we're going to create a new cache using polygons. So first off, let's look at the polygons. They were all created on OpenCPN, and there's one here for Canada, there's one here for the Caribbean, there's one for Europe, there's one for Asia, and there's one for Australia. So we are going to select only the polygons that we want to actually create the new cache. So anything that's in these new polygons that we choose will be put in the new cache. Everything else will be left out. Okay, let's fill in the fields on our utility. The first one is the source cache. So we press this button here and we go to our E drive and we go down to SAS Planet Cache and we set that. And notice when I did that, the cache names all appeared in here. So it went to that cache and it found all the maps and filled in this here box here with the cache names. Okay, the next thing we have to do is the output directory. And the same thing, we have to go to our E drive and we'll click the SAS Planet New Cache. And there's filled that in. Now, as I said, we don't want to change this. Zoom levels are okay. The maximum threads are okay. The output cache is going to be SQLite 3. And we got to fill in the polygons. So we click this here field here. And again, we go to our E drive. And where's our polygons? Right here. So we select the polygons that we want to use. So I'm just going to select Canada and Caribbean and click Finished. And it brought up a little pop-up here to show you what you selected. If that's not right, you can start over again. And the next thing, okay, create the cache. Okay, it's creating it. And this will be very fast because we're creating a SQLite 3 cache from an SQLite 3 cache. And this utility can do that quite quickly. You know, there's a progress bar here. It just keeps going across the screen telling you it's still working. Okay, it finished. It only took 1 minute and 49 seconds to create the new cache. Let's take a look at it. Go to that cache. And there they are. It created them all. It put all the maps in here. So it looks like it did it. And if you compare the sizes of the old cache, which is here, it says it's 214 megabytes, and the new cache, come on, tell me what it is, 112 megabytes. So it reduced it quite a bit. So what we want to do now is update SAS Planet with the new cache value. So if I click on this SAS Planet new cache and simply copy the address so we can paste that right into SAS Planet, and we'll go to SAS Planet here, open the settings, the options, and we come down here to the SQLite cache folder and we update it. We simply highlight it and paste in the new one, and that's all there's to it. We apply it and we press OK. And what you should do now is recycle SAS Planet, because we've changed things in the cache, and SatUchart will actually look at that data, and it may not get the most update data if it's not recycled. So we'll just do that, recycle it. So we'll just check to make sure that the settings are are okay. We'll go to the options again, the cache, and you'll notice that it's been updated to the new cache. So that's all we need to do to update SAS Planet. Okay, I showed you how to start the utility 2 different ways. We looked at all the fields. We looked at the current setting of SAS Planet's cache. Then we created a new cache using polygons, and we updated the SAS Planet's cache and recycled SAS Planet. Thank you for watching.